you need it. Okay.
Okay, we are live.
Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Cheney.
Here.
Trustee Foster.
Here.
Mayor Newhart.
Here?
Trustee Calora.
Here.
Trustee McKnight.
Here.
Very good. May I have a motion to accept the minutes of May 20th, 2024 and June 3rd, 2024?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to accept the following reports: May 2024, Clerk's Office, Justice Department, Planning Department, Building Department, and Department of Public Works.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And an authorization to pay all approved and audited claims in the amount of $225,014.07.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah. The third motion you read, that's not part of this agenda, isn't it?
Right.
But the authorization is
The
for
authorization.
the second meeting of the month.
What's that?
The audited claims were right, but the reports are not on this agenda.
Oh,
Oh, so.
We already accepted those last time, I think.
Right.
oh, you did?
Okay.
Well, what, am I in my,
Well, we just doubly accepted.
we doubly accept that.
Okay.
Okay.
What were the minutes that you had on there? Was that June 17th?
June 17th.
You said May 20th.
But he did
May
say
20th
two.
and June
Yeah.
3rd.
Oh, you know what?
I know. I went back and checked. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait, am I in the wrong?
Were you on the
You're on the wrong
website?
one.
Because when I went back on the
Hold
website,
on.
I was on the wrong agenda too.
Okay.
Must be a weird glitch.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Oh, I see, because I just saw addendum and I figured that, okay, I got it.
Let's do June 17th.
Let's
Let's go back.
I apologize, let's back up here.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, so the authorization was correct and the acceptance of minutes of June 17th, 2024. May I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Phew.
Okay.
Okay. We're at public comments on agenda items only. Is there any comments from the audience? Okay. And we'll go on to motions, and Trustee Cheney.
Motion to grant permission to Village of Warwick employee Jason McCutch to carry over 5 vacation days.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to authorize the mayor to submit a letter of intent to participate in the pro-housing community program administered by the New York State Homes and Community Renewal, HCR.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to submit a 2024 New York State Consolidated Funding Application for the Village of Warwick Veterans Memorial Park Master Plan Implementation Project and to authorize the mayor to sign the same.
Okay.
Second.
Okay.
Do we know a little bit about what we're applying for at this point?
Yeah, so there's two options that are being explored. One of which, if we, I'm still looking into this, but if it's allowable for us to go after design, we would like to pursue design for the pedestrian space, to kind of just the area that's near the Little League. Do you know what I'm talking about? So, and that would be reconfiguring the parking lot. The group felt like that would be really beneficial. So we met with the stakeholder advisory group on June 18th and talked about the different options. And that's something that we would specifically have to spend money on. It's not something that we could get through in-kind services or somebody else. And also that would help expedite the improvement of just safety in that area, because it would improve kind of the flow of traffic and then support kind of just keeping pedestrians separated. So we talked about that. So if we can, we'll go after that. We also talked about a bunch of the various pedestrian improvements, and those, we're developing costs for those in any case. And the mayor will be submitting those to Senator Skoufis's office for consideration. So we kind of decided that if it could make sense for us to double up, or at least, or kind of parse it out depending on where those costs end up. And I think we're still waiting for the costs from Karen Arndt, right?
Yes, they're almost done.
So she's in the process of developing all of those costs. So I think the final submittal will depend on how those costs shake out. But what we discussed pursuing through Senator Skoufis's office is sort of that Patriot pathway and the ceremony space. So like I said, just depending on how the costs work out, we'll either be focusing on some of that or really focusing on kind of that extension of the pedestrian space. But all of it will be about the pedestrian-related improvements.
And do we expect to hear from Senator Skoufis's office one way or the other before the application?
Before the application, I do not know that, yeah.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah, so that's why we've decided we would submit like two separate.
Yeah.
We think it'll be two separate things.
Thank you.
Yeah. I should have been
We
prepared.
we
with
may
this.
be able to get a
You
pretty,
did fine.
a pretty good answer, a strong answer from his office, because I think it will be very laid out, you know, it will be very complete as a packet that we're giving him, so we'll see. Okay. Okay, so we have a second. All in favor?
Aye. And I think we have one more meeting, do we not, before the submittal? So we'll present the final scope and give the board an opportunity to comment on it. Motion to grant permission to Luz Rosado to use the Veterans Memorial Park Pavilion to hold a graduation party on Sunday, July 28th, 2024 from 2 to 6 p.m. with setup to begin at 10 a.m. and cleanup to be completed by 8 p.m. Request includes use of alcohol in the park, use of restrooms, pavilion lights, electricity, 15 village-owned tables, 65 village-owned chairs, and the village-owned picnic tables. The request also includes a DJ to play music between the hours of 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Completed park permit, insurance, and host liquor liability and security deposit have been received.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Tom?
Motion to submit 2024 New York State Consolidated Funding application as part of the Department of State's Smart Growth Community Planning and Zoning Grant Program for the Village of Warwick Zoning Revision Project and authorize the mayor to sign the same.
Second.
Okay. And that is a grant that we applied for last year. We were very close to getting it, and we are rewriting it with some more information as to what we plan to do in terms of our rewrite of our zoning code. And I'm hoping we'll be successful.
I think we may need to add a motion, because I see now, Tom, what you were talking about, because we were going to submit a CFA for the climate smart communities, and we both thought this was related to that, and now reading it again, I
I see.
realize, so we are gonna be submitting 3 applications, so we'll
Right.
need to do another motion.
Sure.
Okay.
We could
So
do
we'll
that the
close
next
this
meeting,
one
I
out.
think.
We can do
Huh?
it at the next meeting?
I think so, right?
Do you have, is there enough time, or do you think you could
Could you frame it tonight?
frame a motion tonight?
I mean, that would be
July
pretty easy.
17th would be the
Yeah,
next
we can
meeting.
frame that.
Okay,
I could make the motion.
okay. Well, let's get through with this one.
Yep.
Okay. So,
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
And do you want to
Yeah.
take a stab?
Motion to submit a 2024 New York State Consolidated Funding application as part of the Climate Smart Communities Initiatives projects, and to authorize the mayor to sign the same.
Second.
Sorry, I won't take that away from you.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And Jen, you got that?
I got that.
Great,
yes.
thank you. And we have some addendum motions.
The first of which, motion to authorize the mayor to register for account as part of the claims process for the Public Water System Settlement Program related to AFFF Multi-District Litigation Number 2873.
Okay.
Second?
Do you want to explain
Yeah,
that to the
yeah.
board?
So the AFFF stands for aqueous film forming foam. Basically, this is PFOA, PFOS. There was a settlement, I believe it occurred back in February, and so as part of the settlement, and it was a settlement with the originator or developer of those chemicals and the manufacturers who use the product. And this settlement is directed solely towards public water supply systems in the United States. And phase one is for systems who have found the presence of PFAS, which is PFOA or PFOA or PFOS, in the source water. And you have to register by July 12th, 2023 to participate. The amount of money in that settlement, the total award will be between, not individual, everybody, 10.5 billion to 12.5 billion. So I don't know, what it's going to necessarily mean to us. We have had, we have found the presence in 3 sampling years. Not in alarming amounts, at least the way the old action level was, but it does, a couple of the samples had exceeded the new action level, which is 5 parts per trillion. So we're just kind of trying to position ourselves so that we'll make the application and give them the information and see where that takes us.
Have we sampled in the last couple years?
2022 was the last sampling that I
Oh,
have
okay.
data on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we think there will be a sampling in 2024? I'm just curious about
Yeah,
the outcomes.
I'd have to check with Keith. I'm not sure what we're required to do in 2024 relative to PFOA, PFOS.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Okay, so we
Well,
have,
I give some credit to NICOM because they had a legal expert who has been involved in it, and they did a webinar on it last week, which I missed the first half of, but they put it online, so I got to
Oh,
go
good.
back and listen to it. So, I mean, if anybody's interested, I can send you the link to what the what NICOM has from that presentation. So,
yeah. I'd like the link.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll
just-
send it to
Yeah,
everybody.
I would like it too.
Good. Okay, so we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
And motion number 7, we're going
I'll make a motion to withdraw.
to withdraw, yeah. For various details, and it will come back at the next meeting. So, a motion to withdraw. Do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Barry, you
Yep.
have,
Resolution introducing a proposed local law to amend Village Code Chapter 141 Water. Whereas the Village Board of the Village of Warwick has before it a local law entitled Local Law Amending Village of Warwick Village Code Chapter 141 Water. And whereas in order to enact the said local law, it is necessary to formally introduce it and to hold a public hearing on it, now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, that the movement of this resolution does hereby introduce the proposed local law, and 2, that a public hearing on the proposed local law be set for August 5th, 2024 at 7:30 p.m., and that due notice of the same is directed to be given by publication and posting.
okay,
Second?
okay. Any questions?
And this should look familiar because May 20th, we had it before us and you decided to wait until I was back. And so we're just, pulling it, not pulling it together, but we're just setting a date now. The only thing that's occurred since May 20th is we did get feedback from the county health department, very minor, but necessary little changes to add wording to more to clarify than anything. So it's going to involve primarily the cross connection control portion of it, although there are some other things we're cleaning up relative to construction and material requirements, and property owners being allowed to have billing sent to a tenant. That's not in it now, and it's a practice we've allowed, so we're just kind of memorializing that. So.
Okay. Great.
Thanks.
So, did we have a second?
Yes.
Okay.
Trustee Cheney?
Yes.
Trustee Foster?
Yes.
Trustee McKnight?
Yes.
Trustee Flora?
Yes.
Mayor Newhart?
Yes. Okay. That's it on the agenda motions and public comment on non-agenda items. Aha! Not all at once.
I have to stand, I don't really know what my,
You could stand. Please just come to address the board and state your name and
sure.
all those good things.
I have to read this because I don't publicly speak very often.
Okay,
so,
okay. It's no
I'm in
problem.
construction, we talk different. Sorry. So, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Kyle Knapp, and I'm here today as a lifelong resident of Warwick, New York. Along with my fiancee, Jacqueline Bradner, who is not here, who's currently working.
Okay.
But we'd like to talk about a few areas of concern regarding a recent development at 69 Colonial Avenue, or as some of you may know, the old Bradner House. Recently, our neighbor at 67 Colonial Avenue was granted a building permit to build an accessory structure, or garage. In our naivety, we really thought nothing of it. And much to our dismay, though, we now have a 35-foot tall, over 3,000 square foot, monitor-style garage sitting 12 feet off of our property, abutting our backyard pool. Our house at 69 Colonial is 33 feet tall and roughly 3,600 square feet. So to reiterate, an accessory building is taller than a residence, a neighboring primary residence, and only a few hundred square feet shy of being the same interior size in the historic district where we reside. Please show me any other accessory building in the historic district that is that size. It's not on Linden, it's not on Oakland Ave, it's not on any of those streets. I've lived here my whole life. When asked about the permit, which apparently is permitted to only and ever be a non-heated accessory structure, which we'll see, our local building inspector informed Jacqueline that he was sorry, but all requirements were met to satisfy the height and setback codes, and there was really nothing that he could do but issue the permit. We found this very disturbing, especially when sections of the code of the village clearly state no building or structure or land development shall be so detrimental to the desirability, property values, or development of the surrounding area as to provoke one or more of the harmful effects set forth in 5-1 by reason of, list goes, one of them being excessive dissimilarity in relation to any other structures existing. And even though Chapter 5-4 referrals states, this chapter shall not apply to an application for a one-family residence or residential accessory structure on individual property, except that the building inspector, in his discretion, may refer such an application to the Architectural Review Board if it appears, in light of standards set forth, that there is a need for such referral. So that sounds quite opposite of there was nothing that could be done. For residences within the historic district of the Village of Warwick, there are rules and regulations which we must abide by, even so far as to go to the Architectural and Historical Review Board to get approved for the color and siding of your house. We know this because we had to replace our roof, and we're only allowed to choose 2 colors, and in that process we're also told if we ever wanted to reside our house, we could only use wood. This was from the building inspector. But no such reviews for accessory structures. No codes involving the actual structural design of the building in keeping with 19th century architecture reflected in the village. No on-site visit to inspect not only the visual impact to neighboring properties, but also the potential property devaluation. We've had local people who know us and whose families have lived here for generations as well ask us if our neighbors are building a new house in their backyard. Because it's that visible. Even from Colonial Avenue, it looks massive. You should see the shock in their faces when we tell them it's just a garage. And even Jacqueline's Aunt Mary, who you know, Mayor, who grew up in that house as a child and currently lives in Australia, when sent a picture of the building, was equally as shocked and said, and I quote, "That is appalling. How is this allowed to happen?" Nothing in the architectural style of this gross structure remotely resembles anything in this historic district of Warwick, nor early 19th century architecture which the village proclaims they want to continue to foster, cherish, and preserve. This type of garage belongs in the fields of some Midwestern town or a farm, not in the backyard of a small town in the Northeast. So now, because of the approval of one person, the building inspector, Jacqueline and I are saddled with the extraordinary burden of having to bear a substantial financial cost just to install landscaping to shield us from this obtrusive and looming monstrosity of a building. This also isn't just about it towering over us while we're at our pool. It can be seen from almost everywhere inside our house. My kitchen, that we just had redone, visible. My living room, visible. It's there. Second story bathroom. Even our front porch isn't safe from it. The list goes on and on. And clearly this has impacted our daily life and constantly invokes an air of sadness that we have now lost our relaxing and peaceful backyard. I've been in the landscape construction industry for 28 years now in New Jersey, and I can tell you that this is not a cheap fix. This isn't just going to a Home Depot and putting in a few plants. This is thousands and thousands of dollars that Jacqueline and I are saddled now with, of plant material, labor costs, machine costs, and maintenance costs. So who will pay for all this? The village? Our neighbor? I know these are questions that Jacqueline's grandfather, Dr. Morris Bradner, former president of the Historical Society and local doctor, would be asking. Or at least I would think. Actually, you know what? He probably wouldn't, because this wouldn't have happened back then. The accessory structure height laws and setback codes need to be changed, as far as we're concerned. And plans should require at minimum an on-site visit before any permit is issued and any construction begins. Just so that this doesn't happen to some other family in the historic district moving forward. So thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.
Kyle,
Thanks,
thank you,
Kyle.
and thank you for being so articulate. I appreciate
I'm
that.
sorry for shaking.
No, you
Yeah,
didn't,
that's
you were
okay.
good.
And-
I just want to say that I just brought up the agenda for the Architectural Review Board.
Yeah, they're
That's
meeting.
smart.
Yeah, they're meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, we're Jacqueline and I
You are,
going.
Okay,
okay,
good.
okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to
I
recommend.
don't know, I don't know if we're allowed to speak there or not, but we want to go to hear what they are, getting approved for their siding.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
And if you
Yes.
permit me, if this is okay, I just want to show you what our backyard looked like. Can I approach?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah, yeah.
please, yeah.
Okay, that's the garage that they had there before. Okay? We've had to replace the fence because obviously there's glaring holes in it and it was old and we've got permitted for all that and everything.
Right.
And this is what it looks like now.
Mr. Knapp, could I take a photocopy of your letter so I can include that in the
Certainly.
minutes?
I have a little scribbles on it if that's.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
If you're okay with that.
Yeah, it's fine. There's the
I'll
beginning.
just make a copy.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
This is before.
That's before, yeah.
Yeah. That was about 2 years ago.
What's
It doesn't look.
What address is it? Like, are you
69. And we've had good relationship with if I can use their name, the Fitzkis. And it's not that we didn't know that they were planning on doing a garage. But that style of garage, if you look, it doesn't reflect anything in this village. I've never seen a monitor style garage.
That's what this design is, this kind of
Yes.
central,
Yeah, so that center is probably, I'm just guessing, but it's at least over 20 to 24 feet tall in the middle. That's why you see it out in farms, because it's for tractors and, you know, hay and stuff like that. And then there's a third story that you can't see because that's actually just siding on it right now, like, because they're waiting for approval. But a third story, which Jacqueline asked, you know, the building inspector, so this can never be like an apartment or an Airbnb, and he emphatically said, no, this is permitted to only be a non-heated accessory structure. So in my view, that means that you can't run anything to it. You can run water to the bottom level, and then you have to drain that every year from it coming from your house. But you can't run water to the third floor if there's no heat inside of it.
What I'm surprised at is that this did not go
Before any review board?
before any review board. Yes, exactly. Thank you for.
Yeah. So are we. because
Finishing my-
that's- Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
When
no.
when was it built? Do you know?
It still currently looks like that. It was built probably about a month ago. The framing started going up about a month ago, but the footing for it, which, you know, unfortunately I should have probably paid more attention to, but I never thought that it would be something as massive as this. I mean, the fact that it's older, that it's taller than my house, that was built in 1920 is, you know, and I know it's in the bulk requirements. I know all the criteria was met, but that just seems absurd to me. I've worked in New Jersey for 28 years, and every town that we've worked in has never. We deal with setbacks and variances and all that kind of stuff all the time. And it's just really, really, like Mary said, it's just appalling to us. I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
I'm gonna have to take a site visit myself.
So the neighbor's property is
67.
2 point something acres, right? So then the side setback is only 10.
Right, and he's
10
12.
feet, yeah.
I mean, Boris has come out, and I know that, like, I've read the requirements, and 35 feet is the max height, and there's nothing we can do about that now.
Yeah,
The building's up.
yeah.
What am I gonna do? Number one, I don't have billions of dollars. You know, if I did, that might be a different story, and I'm not threatening, I'm just saying, you know, but what am I gonna do about it, except try to screen it now? And I know, just from being in this industry, that's a lot of money that her and I, who, by the way, already has enough stress driving to the city to go work in a cancer hospital, the top one in the United States, Memorial Sloan Kettering, and now this has to come up. So,
Well, Kyle, thank you for
Yeah.
Thank
coming
you.
to us. And,
yeah, thank you for listening to me.
yeah,
I appreciate
it's,
it.
frustrating.
Yes.
For,
Yeah.
It is.
for us as well as you,
Yeah.
too.
I just hope that moving forward, you guys take that into consideration about looking into it, because I would hate to see this happen to somebody
Right.
else here.
Well, one of the things we were speaking about, one of the motions was to try to find funding to look at our zoning code. And because we finished our comprehensive master plan, and actually it calls in the comprehensive plan the ability to create buffers that are, you know, help, you know, to separate.
Right.
In some cases, it's commercial, but also it could be, in this case, you know,
Right.
a buffer that would have been
Just
helpful.
alleviate the visual
Yeah.
impact,
Yeah.
you know, and I mean, we unfortunately have to work towards that, like, but I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
so.
Okay,
So thank you.
well, thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Kim.
Okay, yes. Okay. Oops, I'm off my agenda.
I think it's,
We're just at final comment.
Final
yeah, final
comments.
comments from the board.
Okay, board, final comments?
I quick update. So the mayor and I had a meeting with the stakeholder advisory group for Veterans Memorial Park. It was our first implementation related meeting. And we provided the group with a progress report on to date, the implementation activities that have taken place at the park, including improvements to McFarland Path, the skate park funding, the meeting that the Memorials Subcommittee had with the West Point to talk about the features, the Eagle Scout project to fund the dog park, and the village's funding of the dog park fencing, the fact that the land clearing for the pump track has started, that we've been coordinating with folks regarding the kayak launches, that the bathrooms are in the process of being open to the public, that the bleachers are down, and then a variety of other activities that are taking place. It was a good group that attended. We also talked with the group about the various funding applications that are up and coming and got feedback on the scopes of work there. And is there anything? We are going to have a sub meeting. There's a few action items that kind of came out of that. We're going to have a meeting with the VFW and the American Legion to talk about some of the parameters around the memorials, to kind of gain some consensus around that. Little League and football did offer to write letters to provide us statistics about the usage of the park, which was really helpful. It also did come up a question about the helicopter pad and whether its location nestled where it is actually safe. And so that's something, or not necessarily safe, but whether there might be kind of a higher risk in that location. So that's something that I think that will be following up on. There were questions about whether we could open the bathrooms up a little bit earlier and some other things. So I've circulated the draft meeting minutes to the group, and then once everybody's good with them, we'll post them on the website.
It's good. It was a good meeting.
It was a good meeting. It's a wonderful group of people.
Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mary, do you have anything? for us?
Yes, Friday, July 12th at 3 p.m. at the A.W. Buckby Center at 2 Colonial Avenue. We will be having the Old Stories from Warwick's Past book release and signing and reading with Jean Beattie May, who was the village historian from 2010 and to 2018. This is a collection of 28 stories that she collected from local families and the archives. And so that'll be really fun. This will be your first opportunity to purchase the book for $20. That includes tax. All of the proceeds from the sale of the book go to the Warwick Historical Society. And this project is co-sponsored with the Village of Warwick.
Very
So I
good.
look forward to seeing everyone
Yeah.
there.
That's exciting.
Yes. Tom, do you have anything?
Yes, so we did get confirmation of that $10,000 Climate Smart grant, which will pay for a little more than half of the heat pump going in the new DPW office facility. It is a direct pay, so the money, I think, just arrives. I don't know how it does, but
Okay.
so it can be spent whenever we're ready to buy the heat pump. It has to be spent within a year, but I don't think that's gonna be a problem because we're gonna be heating it before fall.
That's right. They've been doing
Thanks.
all the prep work for the new barn, so. it's
Right.
Oh,
moving-
great.
Right.
moving fast and furious.
We, just as a matter of update, because I've been updating certain things, so we also participate in the Clean Energy Communities program for New York State. And there are certain tiers of points you have to reach to earn more grants. And I think we're just knocking at the door of the next grant, which is $50,000. Hopefully should hear within a few weeks that we're good to go on that. But similar to last time, we only have 3 months to, it's a non-competitive grant, right? We only have 3 months to have the project selected, quoted, right? If we need multiple bids because it's a higher amount, all of that. So hopefully by next meeting, we'll have something more to discuss, but last time it came down to the final week, and it was
It's
it
the way
was
it's the way
it was
it
getting a little
happens
stressful.
here.
So
We have a short list though this time, right? Of things we want to fund based on.
we do, but it opens up more that with 50K. And with any luck, I don't want to overpromise, underdeliver, but I have a couple things in play that could be close to the next grant as well, which is 100,000. But you cannot stack them; they have to be for different things.
So let's say we're not successful with the CFA for the climate vulnerability assessment. Could that $50,000 be used for something like that to do the climate vulnerability assessment?
That would be
It
good.
Could it also potentially be used for like the dial-a-bus rebranding and assessment of where we want stops?
So that would be called special project, and yes, it's a longer review time, but that could be very interesting.
Okay, and then we talked about like the bike racks and
Right.
the pollinator stops too.
Exactly, because every single one of those ties back to a more walkable.
Yeah, I love the idea of having like the artist fabricated bike racks, and maybe garbage
Yeah.
cans that are like really fun that entice people to feed them.
Like a big,
Recycling
Mouth.
like read me bottles. Yeah.
You mean like our lions
yeah.
drinking water fountains?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
Carly, are there any? I think I know the answer. Are there any bike racks in Memorial Park?
I haven't. I don't.
I think there's one.
Because I asked my daughter where she parks her bike when she went to the carnival, and I think she just chained it to some pole.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
that.
what I do.
I was there. We were doing cleanup duty, walking around, and I don't remember seeing.
Yeah, I don't
think there is
remember
any.
seeing them.
I think we need them downtown in each of the parks.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a sorry little bike rack in Stanley Deming, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would be cool if some kind of fabricated.
Newburgh did a project with local artists. I think was it
No.
the Orange County.
I thought
Yeah.
of, and actually, I don't know how they did it. They did it. It seems like really budgeted, low budget.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, some of them are really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can dig up how they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks
Yes.
so much. It's
Thank
exciting.
you. Yeah, it's good.
so keep
Barry, do you
tracking
have
on
anything
that.
for?
Just
Okay.
a couple things. South Street Sidewalk project. They're supposed to be completed by September 15th. It looks like they're probably going to start in about 2 weeks with some of the demo work, and then forming things up for the sidewalks. So just a heads up. And as far as the property owners go along there, they're going to be notified, I believe, with a letter both from the contractor and also from the village relative to the project.
Yeah.
So just so that they have a full appreciation of what's going to happen in front of their houses.
Yes.
And then second thing is the lead service line inventory. We're at a point now where we've pretty much close to being finalized on the postcard that's going to go out, and then where the postcard leads the recipient in terms of trying to give us information relative to the service line that enters their house. And it's very self-explanatory. At the same time, we will also here in the office be ready to handle any questions that might come up. And if it means a visit by our water department, that's something else that we can do. So we're just looking for the public's assistance in getting that information back, because it's going to be very critical to simplifying the process we have to go through to make the determinations and going out and just confirming what's there. So
Do we think it could make sense for us to have a table at the farmers market and like if there's examples of pipes available, because then we
Yeah.
could show people.
Yes, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
And we could
I'd
have
be happy to do
magnets
that.
too, right? Wasn't that one of the tests?
Yeah, you need a magnet.
Yeah.
Magnets,
Yeah.
I
So
would be available to do that too.
would Mr. Bennett have like example pieces of pipe?
Very
Where
nice
would-
one.
I think
where
we
could
could,
get
I think we could
pieces?
definitely get pieces of pipe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And magnets.
Because sometimes like touching it is easier than.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to contact Cheryl and see if she has availability at the farmers market?
That would be really good. And also, while you're at it, we are going to be starting public outreach for either DRI or New York Forward. And
Okay.
so the farmers market's a great place
Okay.
to do that.
I'll text her tomorrow.
Okay.
We're gonna have a. Do you want to say anything about the chamber meetings or the listening sessions? With the board
I don't,
member?
we haven't scheduled them yet.
Okay. Okay.
If you want to describe them, but
Okay. The mayor and I also met with the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce on June 18th, and we're working on scheduling some listening sessions with the merchants and the restaurant owners.
And in that vein, I just received word back from the Chamber's legal counsel, and their rental contract is almost squared away. So they're poised to be moving in pretty soon. And the Robin Bray closing was delayed because one of the owners had to sign documents but was out of the country. And so I believe they have finally been signed, and so that's moving forward as well. So things are still happening, but at their own pace. And earlier today, I reached out to the board about a meeting with the consultant engineer for the school district, and Barry cannot make that date, so I was hoping you could pull up your calendars. Tom is going to be away then the next until the 18th, so after the 18th, from the 19th on, are there a couple of dates that you could give me?
I'm good all day, the 18th and the 19th. I mean, I can move, I've got one thing, but I can move it out of the way.
Well, the 18th is not going to work, but the 19th.
Oh, 19th, okay. And
What
the
what day of the week?
Friday.
Friday.
19th is a Friday.
Just pulling up my phone.
Yeah, that works for me.
Is that okay, Tom?
19th?
What time?
I'm good all day.
Tom, you've got the
Yeah.
Early
early?
in the morning is better for me,
Yeah,
or late afternoon.
I think early is.
So
I
if
mean,
we could do before 9 or after.
Before 9
5.
is ideal, if that's,
Yeah, so
Before
if we could
9?
do 8.
8 o'clock would be great.
Okay. Well, if they can't do 8, then give me something else. 8:30, 9? It's 9,
8:30.
is 9 too late?
What about lunchtime? Could you do lunchtime, Tom? If we,
It's going to be, of course, a
Yes.
Remote.
Zoom remote Google.
oh. Yeah, so maybe we could do 8, 12.
8 or 12 is
8
good
or
for me.
12, okay,
Yeah.
okay. You'll be hearing from me. Hopefully that'll work. And I just want to mention I was the guest at the high school graduation this past Saturday, and it was a really lovely event. And on behalf of the board, I'd like to wish the class of 2024 all the best. It was a wonderful, some wonderful speakers, the valedictorian, the salutatorian, the class president, they all spoke, and it was just really a great event, and the rain held off, and so that was really terrific.
And the sun didn't come out.
And the sun didn't come out in that black
Yep.
robe in the middle of that football
Sitting on
field.
those aluminum stands.
I feel like I'm
For the parents,
a roasting mayor and
Yeah.
also the other administration. But it was very, very sweet, very well done. And I don't have anything really else. But I also want to wish whoever's, I know the entire community a happy 4th of July. It's right around the corner. Enjoy the day with your family, but also be safe. And that's the most important thing. So, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Much what you wish for.
Oh, well, there's no bike racks there.
Yeah, there are.
Is that a bike rack? Those aren't
You
nice.
can't tell because there are too many.